Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Katie, and Katie liked to play The Sims. One day, Katie decided to build the Three Little Pigs houses as part of Speed Build Storytime, which actually has become a series. Katie didn't expect it to become an actual series on her channel, because she has a hard time sticking to any ideas. Usually she'll do one thing, say it's going to be a series, and then never do anything similar ever again. You'll notice this if you look back through the catalogue of her videos. Things like recreating a painting in The Sims. She never did that ever again. Maybe one day she will. Anyway, Katie has a special place in her heart for the Three Little Pigs, but I'm not going to tell you why. And please don't try Googling it. To be honest, you probably wouldn't find anything anyway. But she really likes the Three Little Pigs. The straw house was fine. It was round. She did a pointy roof. She thought it looked cute. But for some reason, for the stick house, she didn't want it to have a conventional shape. She thought that would be boring. So she decided to give it a weird shape, which made roofing it incredibly difficult. That was, of course, until she found a certain favourite item of hers that she can never ever find in the catalogue. In case you're not familiar with the story of the Three Little Pigs, there are 3 pigs, and one of them builds a house of straw, one of sticks, and one of bricks, because they get kicked out of the house by their mum. It seems a bit harsh, but in my version, I've made them all kind of in their 20s and look like grown men, so maybe it's fair enough that she's like, "Can you all get out of my house now, please?" I decided that the brick house should look like a proper little cute house, whereas the other ones are a bit weird and not very well thought out, to be honest. I thought that went with the characters of the pigs that I created. I'm really enjoying making the fairy tale characters in CAS as well, and I will be putting them on the gallery one day, but I'm rubbish at remembering to ever put things on the gallery. If you've been looking on the gallery for Rapunzel's tower, or the 3 Bears house, you won't have found it, because I forgot to put them on there. But you know what? Twisted Mexi has recently updated Better Build By, so Katie doesn't actually need to come out of the game and back into it to be able to upload things to the gallery without the CC tag, because Twisted Mexi is amazing and is probably Katie's favourite person in the world. Don't tell her family or her partner this, because it's a bit awkward. Also, maybe don't tell Twisted Mexi, because it's slightly embarrassing, but she is somewhat in love with him. Anyway, Katie decided that things should be made of straw in this house, and you may have noticed that I chuckled because I just saw the straw that comes up when you search for straw. That really made Katie laugh at the time too, which is why she put the straw in the house. But it's a drinking straw, not straw that's made of grass. I also don't know why Katie keeps deciding to do octagonal rooms and then trying to put kitchen cabinets around the edge. It's really tricky and annoying. You may also have noticed that this video's very long. Well, Katie had to build 3 houses, so kind of get over it. But what it does mean is that there might be a few ads on this video, and Katie can only apologise, but she did make YouTube partner very recently, and she is very excited about this. Ads can be slightly annoying when they're in the wrong place, thought Katie. So why don't we put one here while I'm not saying anything? There. That wasn't too bad, was it? For some reason there, Straw Pig was trying to make a salad in the sink. He has loads of counter space, but because he got freaked out by the fridge not working, he decided to use the sink as a countertop because he's an idiot. Don't worry, Katie moves things around in a second and they work much better. I then found the stick thing that I love. I don't really love it, but for some reason I always want to use it. Usually to not be the object that it is, but to be a dog's tail or something, or the hair of a pirate. That sounded insane, but those are real experiences of builds I've done where I've used that object. It's called something like something of sticks. Regardless, it says the word sticks in it. You should remember that. I actually searched for it for a full 4 minutes. That doesn't seem like a long time, but when you're searching through the gallery for an object that you know what it looks like, it's really frustrating. Here, I took a cup so that I could tool that little straw into it, because I thought it was amusing that the straw pig had a little straw next to his bed. And here's me using the stick thingy over and over again. You know what's funny? When I said it took me a long time to find this object, it was finding it for this part of the build. But I forgot that there was one in the straw pig's house that I could have just selected and duplicated. What a massive idiot Katie really is. I know I'm swapping between Katie or I, but we all know they're the same person, and this format is quite silly, so I don't think it matters. Here I used Tool to duplicate the stick thingy, and then rotate a few of them and resize them so that it looked like it was part of the stick roof. You can probably tell that I'm very excited about the new pack coming out. The Cottage Living Pack, that's the name of it. I'm not very good at remembering the packs that I already own, so remembering the name of a pack that isn't coming out for over a month is difficult for me to do. Here I decided to play with some platforms, because now the initial excitement of platforms has faded away. It's easy to forget that platforms even exist. But I decided that in this strange little stick house, maybe there was a dropped floor. Why not? It is a fantasy house made by a pig. It really doesn't matter what it looked like. But I'm sure you can tell by now that the aim I had was to make one house that looked like it was all straw stuff and with a straw theme, and then a stick house that was all wood and things like that. And then when you see the brick house, you'll see that Katie decided to do lots of stone-related things. There isn't a lot of furniture in the game which is made of bricks, which makes sense. It would be weird to have a brick sofa or a brick table, but there's lots of masonry-esque things and things made of stone, so that's okay. The configuration of the stick house had a lot of iterations, as you can see. Katie wasn't quite sure exactly what it would look like, but she messed about a bit with all sorts of different things, and she had a good time doing it. So, no worries there. She also decided to put in a bunk bed, because bunk beds are cute and cool, and she thought it worked so well in a stick house. The season's desk and chair also match the colour of the wood really well and look kind of stick-like and bendy, like somebody maybe carved it or bent some sticks. I don't bloody know. Either way, that's a bit of a shocker. Anything with matching wood from different packs always surprises me with The Sims 4. Sometimes, Katie really misses the days of The Sims 3. Do you remember back in the days when you could take a pattern and put it on the curtains and the duvet and one wall as a feature wall of a bedroom, and then use one of the colours as the pillow on the bed, pick a wood swatch and use it for every piece of furniture in the room, including the bed? Those were good times. But unfortunately, Katie finds The Sims 3 in general a kind of annoying game. She hasn't actually played it for a long time, but it used to crash all the time, and it made her incredibly sad. Anyway, maybe she'll play The Sims 3 again soon. And now, we're about to get into a very exciting part of the video. I decided to get Stick Pig to playtest his kitchen. He decided for some reason to go into Straw Pig's house. I tried to lock the door, but it was no good. He still decided to go in there. It was very annoying. And then, because I'd made the wolf a vampire so that I could make her look cool, she burned to death outside. I was hoping there was something I could do by resetting her, but when I reset her, unfortunately, she disappeared entirely. And then it turned out there was a fire on the lot because Stick Pig had started a fire in Straw Pig's kitchen. It was very annoying, and I almost cut this all out of this video, but it was too weird and funny to not leave in. Anyway, Stick Pig's kitchen works, as does his bathroom. If you're wondering how I solved that situation, I didn't save the game. I actually saved as build save 2.5 because this is my second build save now. Then I went back into build save 2, saved the room that is Straw Pig's kitchen to my library, and then came into build 2.5 and put it in again. Here we go. That's me doing it now. I also then added a load of fire alarms because I'd got paranoid by that point. And now we're on to the brick house, which is made and owned by Brick Pig. That's what I named my version of the pigs for this. It doesn't really matter what they're called, I guess, but that's what they're called. There is an awful lot of brick in Brick Pig's house, but also it's the only one that actually makes sense as a whole house. It has stairs and 2 stories, like a house might. Originally, I assumed that that little side room would be a bathroom because I forgot kitchens existed. But don't worry, it became a kitchen and I put a bathroom upstairs. I then played around with the chimneys because I wasn't happy with many of those, but at least most of them are brick, and I actually needed a brick chimney this time. There we go, that's a nice one. Now we're on to the interior, and we're playing with some more bricks, of course. Also a platform. I was really feeling platforms on this build, and a window seat. We all love a window seat, don't we? A lovely little bay window. I then put in some curtains that I used to absolutely hate and still kind of do, but since working on that collab video with Hip Hip Renee, I see their value. Maybe I'll link that video up the top. Who knows if I'll remember. This is quite a long video, so I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to pop in another ad break here. How was that? I thought that you might enjoy the rest of the video uninterrupted if I did it there. Of course, you might not have got an ad there if you're using a sneaky little ad blocker, which I may or may not do from time to time. Or sometimes YouTube just doesn't put an ad in when it says it's going to. But I'm doing my best. I don't know what I'm doing. This is all very new to me. But hopefully, I'll come up with a formula soon. Here's the lovely kitchen. The bricks are green. I just thought, maybe there's just bricks everywhere, and he's painted over the bricks, but not plastered. I'm not really sure why curtains don't work for me anymore. I keep having to put them on the outside of windows and then flip the whole window round to bring the curtain inside. That's not how curtains should work. It's really annoying. Have you noticed how often I've said how annoying The Sims is today? I tend to say that a lot, to be honest, but I do promise you, it is my favourite game. And I play it a lot. I make a lot of videos and stream only The Sims and also play it in my spare time. It's very sad, but hopefully you'll take on board how much I really do like The Sims. Sim Guru Ninja came into my stream the other day when I was complaining about The Sims. He always seems to do that, and I'm suspicious about how often he's lurking so that he can say hi exactly when I'm complaining. It's very sus. But I hope he understands that I do love the game, and that I think that he and all the other gurus and devs are lovely. However, it was these modular pieces that I was complaining about. If you try and put something underneath another modular piece, it won't let you. I actually had to use Tool to get them to work because it snapped to the wrong place. And you can't put one in and then delete it so that they snap together. Oh no, that would be too easy. So yes, here's me using Tool to put one underneath. It's just infuriating. Maybe I could have put it in and then put the little boxes above it, and then put that sliding up next to the other one, but I bet it would have snapped in an annoying way. I also think those plates from Snowy Escape are just a little bit too small, so I made them bigger with Tool. Tool is fantastic. If you are playing on a computer, I strongly suggest that you download Better Build By and the Tool mod from Twisted Mexi. They're both fantastic mods, and I would not be playing this game without them. That's a lie. I used to play without them all the time. But as soon as I discovered them, I could never go back. Oh, here's another complain-worthy thing. What's going on with the roof? I was so annoyed by this, I actually closed the game at this point and came back to it the day after. But I realised that the roof showing through only showed up in build mode, and I could get less of the roof showing through if I didn't put a real wall in, but snuck an extra piece of wall into place, like you do when you're trying to fake a tiny home. So there's a little trick for you if the roofs are ever being absolutely infuriating in the build upstairs. Here I used some more bricks. Are you surprised? I went quite minimal. I had the idea that the brick pig actually had some interest in interior design. I am obsessed with these modular pieces, but they do upset me. I just wish they were slightly different than they are. I guess you can't have everything, and I should get over it. But I'm not over it yet. This seemed like a good system, but it didn't work. That little table actually worked really well in the space, but with the bed there also, and the door and the chair, he couldn't navigate around the room. The routing was not happening. So I got rid of the big desk, and I put in a little desk, as well as tooling that piece into place, because it's 1.5 times the size of the other pieces, which meant that it wouldn't snap into place at the top edge, only the bottom edge. I have a lot of complaints, but overall, I really do enjoy the Dream Home Decorator Pack. It's a lot of fun, even if it is buggy as all hell. I decided that Brick Pig should have some artwork that had some red and brick tones in it. I thought that was a clever idea. Neutral colours, blacks and whites, and then brick colours in the artwork and a rug. As I sort of mentioned earlier though, I am particularly excited about cottage living. In particular, those thatched roofs. Apologies, somebody outside my house is ringing a bell on their bike quite ferociously, and it's very annoying. Better than the cars and the motorbikes that are normally there though, I guess. Although they go a lot quicker than this slow person going ring, ring. Maybe you can't even hear it, but I can. And it's so distracting. It's gone now. Maybe they heard me. That would be awkward. Maybe they're a fan of my videos, and they'll see this. That would be scary. Back to cottage living anyway. There's a very nice thatched roof that's coming with it. That's better than the one I normally use for thatched cottages, which is the one from Untitled Living, which isn't quite right. And it's got that, you know, the toppy bit? You know the toppy bit. I know you know. It's okay. But regardless, it may mean that a few of my ideas for future speed build story times are put on hold for the moment until the cool stuff arrives. But it's fine, because there's lots of fairy tales that aren't in little thatched cottages, aren't there? Things in castles, or even underwater maybe? I have lots of plans. I apologise for the lengthy runtime of this video. It's difficult to make 3 houses all in one go, and make an interesting video. But I feel like the fire and the vampire death made it very exciting in the middle there, so it broke it up a bit. Also, I hope you're okay with where I put the ads. Let me know if they were in a rubbish place or if they didn't come up at all. I'm very new to this, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Also, the tour part of this video is longer than in any of the previous ones, because I do actually do most of the story of the 3 little pigs. I thought it would be really fun. I'm really enjoying the machinima element to these videos, even if I do a stupid voiceover over them. I was thinking one day possibly taking just the video of those parts and making separate little storytime videos. I don't know. But they're very cute little fairy tales that I do at the end. Not on the Rapunzel one, nothing really happened on there. I mean the last one and this one, because it's kind of become a thing now. But if the stories are more complicated, like Rapunzel is, I probably won't do the whole story. I didn't really do the whole story with the 3 bears, which, by the way, maybe I'll link up the top. Maybe I'll link up the 3 bears now, and in a minute, maybe I'll link up Rapunzel. I don't know if that was long enough to be able to put 2 different information things there, but we'll see. Here I'm putting 3 different paths in, which initially looked absolutely rubbish, but then I blended them somewhat and they kind of worked. I also spent a lot of time putting terrain paint around the edges of each of the houses, and then I covered most of it up with plants and didn't do any more terrain paint, because I'm a fool. I think that the way I blended the 3 different paths at the end works well. Ooh, we're nearly at the end of the speed build now. We're nearly at the tour. I hope you're ready. It's gonna be a fun one. We're not there yet though, because we've just got to do a little bit more landscaping. There was a lot of straw. I cut out most of that. And also putting this grass down. I cut a little bit there too. It did get a bit boring. But look at these little red flowers. Lovely. And here are the houses that the little pigs made after being kicked out of their mum's house. A straw house, a stick house, and a brick house. Straw Pig's house was unsurprisingly mostly made of straw. As we've already seen, this made it very flammable. But Straw Pig was a little bit stupid, and he also had some little pig ornaments. Did you notice them when I was building? I thought they were a cute touch. Each house has a little pig ornament. I'm surprised with how stylish this bathroom looks inside Straw Pig's house. Look how smug he looks with his little straw in his cup. And now we're on to the stick house. Everything in there is made of wood. And I tried to make it look like sticks. There's a pig thing on the wall. That's cute, isn't it? Katie particularly likes this house. Yes, I've suddenly started saying that again. He looks pretty smug too. And here's the brick house. Oh, this pig should look smug of all, because his house is actually a house. The living room looks weirdly like my auntie's living room from the 90s. Weird coincidence there. I think I was slightly inspired by it. But here's Brick Pig, looking the most smug of all the pigs, in his lovely little bedroom. And here is his bathroom. That's nice. Everything kind of has a masonry feel, slate and stuff. Cute. There he is. He's happy with his choice to build a house of bricks. But here comes the wolf, and she huffed, and she puffed, and she blew the Straw Pig's house down. And there it goes. He ran off into the Stick Pig's house like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? Stick Pig thought it would be fine. It wasn't fine, not even a little bit, because she blew down the stick house as well. Oh dear. And then she tried to blow down the brick house, but that was never gonna happen. She did notice there was a chimney though, and climbed up the side of the house to see it, not pictured here. And then the Brick Pig, hearing the wolf from the chimney, lit a fire, which seems a bit OTT, but I guess she was trying to eat them. And in this version, the wolf got a little bit hot and ran away. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Speed Build Storytime. I can't wait to come back with another one. Not sure what it's going to be yet. Let me know in the comments what fairy stories you'd like to see recreated in The Sims. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye now.